Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, jicolourist. My name is Jody and we are just motoring along in our Festive Coloring Advent Coloring book. We are not even going to waste a lot of time on an intro. You have been here day after day with me and I so appreciate it. So let's just jump right into day 14. You can check out all the previous videos, of course, and get the lowdown on what we're doing here. But day 14 is Santa's Workshop, and I am excited about this one because it has some pretty cool inset bulbs here that kind of remind me of like an earthen house that has the bottles that are inset into the wall that the light shines through. That's what I'm envisioning these to be like, and that's the look I'm going to go for. I'm also excited that this has got some wood on it. We haven't seen any, a lot of wood so far on our front of the buildings. And I also have some washi tape that I want to use. So the colors are dictated by my washi tape. So I am going to go with teal and red. I think that those would look great together. Also, obviously, a bit of greenery here and stuff. But this is Santa's Workshop, and we've got a lot of work to do. They've also got lights for a change way up here at the top, outside of on top of the roof. So we will deal with that. But that's what we're going to mainly concentrate on today, is the bulbs of the lights and also these glass inset around here. So that'll be something a little bit different. So I'm going to go off. I'm going to do kind of the background of Santa's Workshop. Going to install some washi tape. I will bring you back when there's something interesting happening. But otherwise, go grab yourself a drink. Get ready for some fun with glass. Okay, we are back and I have accomplished quite a bit. So let's go over quickly what I've done so far and the products I have been using. Okay, let's start off with the top of Santa's Workshop, and what I've got up here is the gold Cyno gel pen, and I decided to go with the gel pen because I wanted it a consistent, and I didn't want to have to keep going over things with paint if I could help it. So I have used the Cyno gel pen, and I also have two of these, so I knew I wouldn't run out. So that is where that is, and I've also done this right along here. So that is that. It's a nice gold. It's not sparkly, but it's metallic, so that is nice. For along here, I have done some distressed crayons, and I used the color Gathered Twig and Iced Spruce. So I've brought in some brown and some green. And then for this red here, this is a thin washi tape from Dollar Tree. So it's just one of their thin washi tapes. Moving down a little bit, you will see that I have more washi tape here, and that is this teal washi tape, or mint colored. This is also mint color, and that is the Staedtler pigment pen. So you kind of see my red and my green mint going on. Zoom you back out, and then we'll scroll down the page. This brickwork here, I did it with the aged mahogany in the distress crayons. So these three distress crayons all came from set number 10. I'll keep the shine from you. And they're just the regular distress crayons, which I dry rubbed on. So that's how I did that. I really like how that looks. It was a nice red color. This is also distress crayon, and then I've come in with some colored pencil on top. The brown around the window casings here is a Pitt pen, and the green inside is also a Pitt pen. It's earth green, so it's kind of a muted green, and I thought it went well. So I did that for all of the inside of the windows. I've got red gel pen along here, or sorry, red Pitt pen along here, not gel pen. I have red gel pen on the bows. So we've got three different bows on the front of the building, and I've used the same red gel pen, and it's actually the Dollar Tree gel pen. It's their glitter pen, and they're really good. It's a nice true kind of red, and it has some good glitter. So definitely, if you see they come in an 8-pack of different colors, definitely worth it from the Dollar Tree at $1.25 or $1.50, depending which country I guess you're in. A little bit more washi tape down here to match the washi tape up here. And now I have come to this area. I'm going to zoom you down a little bit. In fact, I'm going to drop the camera. Okay, you can see hopefully a little bit clearer now. So this area here is the ones that we're going to work on together. And to me, it looks like those earthenware houses where the bottles are inset into the actual house. And so light shines through them. So they're clear. That's what I'm going for as a look anyways. The outside of the house, so the actual stucco or earthenware, I am going to use pencils so that I can get in. It's green gold 268 and it's obviously getting short, so I put a little pencil extender on there, and I'm just doing a light coat around all of these bubbles, and I'm doing that before I go ahead and color the bottles, the bubbles, because I'm going to be using something on top of them and I won't be able to touch the page for 24 hours. So that's one reason why I have gone ahead and done quite a bit of the page already, because once I start doing the additive, then I will have to take a break from the page. So it won't be a long break for you, but of course it'll mean I have to work on something else for 24 hours. So just going through and trying to keep nice light coat, but also trying to make sure that there isn't any white really showing on the paper. I may come in with a little bit darker color to do a little bit of shading on here, but for the most part, I want to keep this area that color. Probably do some darker woody areas down here for the rest of the door frame. Now the green little leaves that are around here, so there's little green leaves. Now they could have been bulbs, but I seem to think that the first thing I thought when I saw them was green leaf, so that's what I've went with. And I pulled out a glaze pen, and I have a few different shades of green, so I picked this. It looks like turquoise green, but when it comes out it actually isn't. So the caps are not very color indicative on the glaze pens, so just so you know, when you see them, it's kind of a little bit, so I'm always testing them before I use them to remind myself what actually color it is. But I've gone ahead and done those in the green, so I will not be using, when I use a glaze pen, I won't be using the extra additive that I plan on. Now I'm going to go ahead and explain what the additive is shortly, but in the meantime we'll get this part done. A little update on how I'm doing. Still working on the pencil background here, and it's coming along. I think it'll be worth the effort in the end, but pencil definitely is a medium that takes longer than dry rubbing on gelato or the distressed crayon. So yeah, but having fun getting back to actually doing some just basic coloring with actual colored pencils. So enjoying this page. I hope you're enjoying what you're coloring and having some fun and relaxing time with whatever you are coloring as well. Drop a comment below letting us know what you're working on and which book you're having fun in right now. Okay, I'll keep doing this and we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, the first coat is done, and now what I'm going to do is make sure that I have a sharp pencil. So that's step one. And now I'm going to go around. Some of these you'll notice have a little bit of a darker line underneath them, and that's kind of lifting them off of the surface to make it look like they are actually embedded in something and slightly raised out of it. So that's what I'm going to do now, is go around. This one here has some shading right up against the illustrator's lines, and that too shows that it's kind of popping out. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I can do some of this afterwards as well, but I definitely want to go ahead and do a little bit right now. And I think my lead is actually broken. Okay, so I'm just right by the item itself. I'm going to put in a darker line. Okay, I managed to sharpen the pencil and get a part of the lead, so obviously I've dropped this pencil a few times, and it being so small, it's probably getting a little bit more fragile, so we'll use it as long as we can, and then I will have to go grab my backup set. So do you have a backup set for your most used pencils? It is nice to be able to buy your pencils open stock, and but sometimes I just buy a whole other set sometimes and keep them as backup and then raid from that set. So if it's a pencil brand that I love and there's a good deal on them. So comment below if you plan to be watching the Black Friday sales. I have been getting inundated by emails and from companies right now that are advertising already for Black Friday, and I was confused because I'm here in Canada and Black Friday is still fairly new here, but Black Friday seems to be all month long in November now, and I'm like, I thought Black Friday was right after US Thanksgiving, so call me confused, but seems to be the Black Friday is already started. So I had to look up when the US Thanksgiving was because there were so many Black Friday ads already. I was definitely confused about what day Thanksgiving actually was in the States. So okay, that's what I'm going to do around a lot of the circles. I'll go ahead and do that. Definitely going to do that around all the candy canes because I think it really pops them out. And I'll be back after that, and probably a larger pencil by then. Okay, just thought I'd bring you back to show you. I've pretty much done this side of the all the bottled areas, and this side over here is not done. And you can kind of see the difference, I think, of what looks better. This one looks a lot more 3D, and this one looks still quite flat. If you look at the candy canes, which one stands out the most to you, as well as the bottles. So I'm going to finish off this area here, then we'll be back and we will add some color. And I'm not going to use a bunch of glaze pens this time. I may go ahead with the smaller ones and use glaze on those, but I have something special planned. So be right back. Okay, this area is done so far. I will come back in probably later and do a bit more shading and a bit more fine tuning, but for now I think it's good. I'm going to quickly come and with the mint color I'm going to do this top because I want to use a glaze for the cord or a metallic pen for the cord, so I want to go ahead and get this done now so that can also be drying. Kind of trying to do as many things ahead of time because once I add the top coat item, I'm going to have to leave my page. So let's just get a few more things done. So this is a Staedtler pigment pen, and it has a semi-flexible brush nib. It really glides on the paper nicely. You can smear it with your finger, as you may see me doing once in a while, but the pigment pens kind of go on a little bit translucent, so that's kind of nice for what I'm going for. I'll finish off this eaves here, and I'll finish off this area here on the rooftop or roof line, and then we'll be back. Okay, I finished off with the column tops and bottoms, also with the mint pen. Now I am going to come in, and I've got a couple of things. I've got this teal and red washi tape that has a bunch of presents on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out individual presents, and I'm going to put one on the bottom of each of these, so that will happen. I'm probably going to put a little bit of glue because once I put it down, I don't want them lifting off. So it will look, let me just zoom you in a bit. It will look like that. So I will cut out the individual present off of there and glue it down, so there will be one present on the bottom of there and one over here. I do have this mint or turquoise colored Jelly Roll metallic, and I am going to put that along up here, so I can do that right now as well. Okay, here is how the gel pen is looking. I like it. I like the color. It's nice. It goes well with the my little color scheme that I got going here, so yay for Jelly Roll. And this is the metallic, not the glitter. I'm excited that this page is actually coming together, and I have not pulled out a color palette. Okay, re-looking at this, I have decided to make this the column the mint color, because I figured that the red ribbon is being wrapped around the column, and so it would make more sense if it was green and not white. So I am using the Staedtler mint color to make the column green, and then I'm going to use Polychromos pencils for the red, so that I can do it darker on the edges and a little bit lighter in the center to help the columns look round. So that is the plan for those columns. And then the top and the bottom here and here are going to be the gold. So I'll quickly do one so you see that. Okay, so that's gonna be how those look. And then these are dry now, and I'll be able to put the washi tape presents on them. And I thought about the presents because I have the washi tape, obviously, but also there's a present right here, and I thought that it would kind of look cute if there was a few presents dotted along the bottom. And this is Santa's workshop after all, so I thought that that would be cute. Okay, let's go ahead and do some of these baubles, because I'm going to use colored pencil on them, so that I can pull out and use this new Dimensional Magic by Mod Podge. This is Dimensional Magic. It adds 3D accents. It is similar to glossy accents. It says do not shake because it causes bubbles. So this one here though is different from this one. This one is clear, and this one has iridescent sparkles, so, or iridescent glitter. So we are going to use the iridescent glitter one on at least the big ones, so that you get that effect. I may use the clear on a few of the smaller ones, but let's get to it. Okay, I'm ready to do the baubles, and I have got a yellow glaze pen, and I probably am going to do some of the smaller ones in the yellow. That's what I'm thinking. I also have some pencils by Faber-Castell. I have light turquoise 154, I have cobalt green 156, and I have deep scarlet red 219. I also have 219 in the Pitt pen, so I may do some of them in the Pitt pen and some of them in pencil. I'm also going to use so this is the same Pitt pen up here that I used, so I may use some pencil here with a little bit of Pitt pen as well to deepen up the color. So that's the plan. So we're going to have red and blues along the outside as well, and I'm hoping with the addition of the two different greeny blues and the red and the yellow that there's enough contrast with colors. Obviously the candy canes are going to be red, so red and white. So what I'm going to do for the candy canes is actually probably the Pitt Artist pen, so that I can put the Mod Podge on top of that. So here we go. might as well just jump right in. I'll do the glaze at the end so that I'm not smearing things, because you know how I am with smearing things. So I've got everything fairly sharp. I might just sharpen this pencil up a little bit. Okay, with all the pencils sharp and ready, let's get started. I'm going to try and have all the colors a little bit varied around it, so I'm not going to do exactly the same thing on the other side and try and match them that way. I'm hoping it looks a little bit more organic. Now I could do a little bit of shading on the baubles as well, a little bit darker, since I do have the two colors, so I could do that as well. And on some of them I'll do that, and some of the smaller ones I'll just leave one color. All right, here is how this is looking. I thought I would let you know that I also brought in a deep cobalt green 158 to add a little bit more depth to the green tones. So I now have 3 greens that I'm working with. Sometimes I'm using just the single green, and other times I'm using all 3. I also have been deepening up this shadow a little bit with the Pitt pen on the red ones to do that, and then on some of the smaller, like this one up here, I just did the Pitt pen because it's small. Now I've decided I am going to use the red on the candy canes, and I am going to use glossy accents with its very small nozzle, and for the rest of it. I was looking for my white glaze pen, but I don't have a lot of it left, so I think I'll just use the glossy accents with the really small nozzle that it does have, and that'll also be a little bit of a switch up from what I'm hoping is the very cool effect that the iridescent glitter Mod Podge 3-dimensional magic provides. So I think what we'll do next is this ribbon here, so that it's done, so that once the Mod Podge is on, I'm not fussing around with anything close to this area. So we are going to do this ribbon here, and I'm going to use the 219 Deep Scarlet Red. Then I'm going to skip the next red and use the shadow color, or it's called Middle Cadmium Red 217, both in the polychromos, and those are on the color family chart with Color with Claire, and so that's this one and this one. So when I want a bigger difference to show the shadows, I will skip a color in between, but I'm going to start off with doing a light of the 219, which is the Deep Scarlet Red. So nice light overall coat, and then I am going to come in with the Middle Cadmium Red, the darker shade, and I'm going to go on the outside edge, and I'm going to fade in. So I'm going to have a little heavier pressure on the outside edge, and then I'm going to fade into the center, and I'm going to do that from both, coming in from both sides. And what that'll leave is, hopefully in the center, a lighter area. And that'll help with the whole curved ribbon look. And I can come in and blend a little bit with this, the first color. So because I didn't do heavy pressure to start with, there is a little bit of the white of the paper showing through, and that's totally what I'm looking for. So I'm going to stop there. Not go too far. I'm going to go do the other one, so that once I am done looking at the whole 3 together, I can make adjustments if I need to. If I do too much on one, then there's kind of no coming back. So that's the what I'm going to do, and I'll do that for all 3 parts of the ribbon wrapping around this column. Okay, so these are the 3 ribbons done now. Now, if I don't like how that's looking, I can come in and do a little bit of blending with either the Caran d'Ache blender. I'm going to put a little bit of white along the center to kind of blend those areas in, just so that there isn't actually paper showing through and there's actually white instead, and that just kind of blends those areas in. And come back in with my lightest. And make sure there's no hard transition, but also kind of lining up. So it's not a total straight line, but it should be basically on top of each other. So if the light is catching, it would be catching fairly uniformly, is what I'm thinking. I like that. It adds to the roundness of it, and that is what I will do for the other side as well. Here's how the baubles are coming along. Just wanted to also let you know that I did bring in the Derwent Drawing Chinese White, and I have been using that to do some blending and some lightening so that the bottles retain that translucent type effect, so that there does look like they are inset bottles in the wall itself and that light is shining through them. So I think that I'm happier with how the bottles are looking with the addition of the white. I'm just making sure that I've spaced out the colors kind of correctly, and I am leaving the small little balls empty so far, but I will be using the glaze yellow on those balls. Haven't forgotten about those. I just wanted to get the rest of them done first. I'm getting close. As soon as I'm done, we will apply the Mod Podge Dimensional Magic, and then we'll let this sit for a day. I keep looking around my page and wondering what else should I get done before I apply the Dimensional Magic, and I've decided to use the red glaze pen over the Santa's Workshop sign, because that also will need to just sit and dry. I think that since I'm not using the glaze pen on the candy canes, I have lots available for this sign. Thank you for spending time with me and bearing with these start and stops. That's kind of what the whole WIP series is about, though, so showing you different stages of the page and how it evolves. Some are ugly stages, I must admit, but I hope you've enjoyed. If there's something specific you would like to see me cover on a future WIP video, please let me know in the comments below. If there's a technique that I'm skipping over, or a medium that I haven't tried yet, or a medium I have used and didn't explain well enough, please let me know, and I will try and incorporate some of that footage in a future video. I'm not an expert, I'm just a enthusiastic colorist. Okay, I'll be finished this here shortly, and then we will move on to the Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. Okay, that took a while, but I am happy with how everything is looking right now. Just to remind you, this is Ranger's Glossy Accents. I have moved it from its original bottle, which looks like this, into an 18 gauge needle-nosed applicator that I purchased empty from Blick. So that's where that came from. The Mod Podge Dimensional Magic came from Michael's just recently. It has a pop-off cap, so it's not overly secure. It comes out quite liquidy. It has a spout on it that you simply squeeze. It says right on the bottle, do not shake, and I would say that that is a good advice for all of the dimensional type tops that you have, including the triple thick, the glossy accents on the Mod Podge. So just to reiterate what I'm planning on doing, The Mod Podge Dimensional Magic comes in two forms. It comes in clear, and then it comes in iridescent glitter. So I'm going to do some of these baubles with iridescent glitter and some with clear. Now I'm going to show you, I have done a little video that is probably coming out just before this one, where I test the different types of glossy accent items that I have, but I just want to show you the Dimensional Magic ones. So this is the clear, and this is the one with the iridescent glitter. So there is some glitter in there. I'm not sure how well it picks up on camera. There, maybe you got a little bit there. But either one, or either way, that's the plan. And then for the candy canes, I'm going to use this glossy accents. Now, let's start with the larger baubles. And I'm just going to start in one corner and kind of work my way around. And this comes out very quickly, so you're going to need to, once you get it started, you're not going to want to squeeze very much. And I have already gone, and while I was waiting, I did the glossy accents, which you've already seen me apply before, to all of the candy canes. So I'm going to be very careful not to touch the candy canes. Like I said, this is very liquidy. It says do not shake, and I'm going to apply this. Now it goes on cloudy, and you can actually see the glitter in it. And I'm going to put it on a bunch of them, but not all of them. I will leave some. Now if you see any bubbles, you need to get those popped, because they will. So since I have the pin out here already, I'm just going to bring the pin and I'm going to pop those. If you can't pop them, then drag them to the side. I'm just pushing it around with the nozzle, and it comes out, like I said, very fast, so don't need to squeeze hardly at all. And it comes out clear or cloudy, but I can see the sparkles inside them. I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of this on. I'm going to leave some, like I said, for the clear, and that's just so we have a bit of a difference. It says you need to wait 24 hours for this to dry. So I will put this aside, and after I've got it all on there, and I will wait patiently, and I'll bring you back to show you how it turns out. Remember, the yellow is already glazed, so we're not going to be doing those. The ones that I have left and skipped over, I'm going to come back with the clear. Okay, I'll switch to clear just so you can see how it applies as well. It has the same kind of squeeze top. Okay, so it seems to be very much liquidy, so it's not quite as cloudy as the iridescent glitter one, but it is very liquidy. So definitely, if you have hand issues, this is probably much easier for you to apply than the glossy accents. Okay, and that's as easy as it is. I'm going to make sure that there's no bubbles if at all possible, and then I'll be back when we're all done. Okay, this is what it looks like wet. Everything has been covered that needs to be covered. I will see you back here tomorrow for a look at how it turned out. Okay, we're back and the page has had a chance to dry. Just bring you up to date before we zoom in and look at the bottles. While I was waiting, I did complete the second column. I did add the washi tape presents. I completed this side over here. I also did a light mint background and then stickles on top for the number 14. So that's pretty glittery and I'm happy with that. I also went up and completed the bottles or the ornaments up top here for the wreath, and I then added the 3D dimensional from Mod Podge up there as well. So let's take a look how the Mod Podge did. I am really happy with the overall turnout. I'm glad that I used both the iridescent and the clear, just so that there was some differentiations on some of the bottles. So they are all three-dimensional, so they do stand up from the page. So next pages we'll have to make sure that there's enough paper down to cushion the bumpiness, but definitely really cool. Let me see if I can zoom you down a little bit more. Okay, here we are at the lower angle, and I'll just point out, so this one and this one, these three all have the iridescent glitter in them, and then this one and these two here are examples of clear. This is also a clear one. So you can, when you're looking at this, you can see the sparkle in them. I'm not sure how much that picks up on camera. And of course the glossy accents did really well as well. I think it looks really good. All of them slightly being raised because that's what I was going for on the actual picture. So really happy. I think I have found a new favorite for glossy type dimensional accents onto my page. So very, very happy with that. I did also go ahead with the Jelly Roll Metallic in the turquoise green and did the cord for the lights. One last thing we'll do together before I leave you for today is we'll do a couple of these lights to get that going. Then I will zoom out and show you the overall picture where we're at, and we will leave you for the rest of today, and I'll see you back here in a few days for day 15. All right, let's do some lights though. Okay, for the lights, I've decided to go ahead and use 3 different Pitt pens. I'm using the Pitt pens because I want them to be pigment ink and not water-based ink. This aqua pen here tends to run once I add anything on top, and I want to be able to add possibly some more 3-dimensional stuff on top of this, or even just some stickles. So we're going to just go ahead and start with the green. And so this is Cobalt Green 156. And I just chose it because it's a bit of a darker than these. And then we'll go with the yellow. And this is Cadmium Yellow 107. And then we have the Deep Scarlet Red 219. And then I'll just continue that all the way around. Okay, so the lights are on. They will be drying. Now I could leave them as that, but I do want them to kind of sparkle a bit more. Instead of stickles, I'm going to zoom you in, and I am going to take a small paintbrush and some Winsor Newton iridescent medium, and I'm just going to go around the outside of the bulb so that it gives kind of a halo effect. I have used stickles around the bulbs on another page, so I just thought I would like to try something a little bit different. And I'm just going around the bulb, so when you move the page you will get some light reflection. Oh, I missed the base of that one, so I'll go back with the gel pen. This dries pretty quick. You can add this. This is a medium that you actually add to other paint, like watercolors. Now when I move it in the light, you'll see that there's a little bit of sparkle on them. Okay, let's zoom out and take one last look at how our page is. Okay, here's a final look at where I'm leaving you off. I still have work to do on the page, but I think it's coming along really well. Happy with how it's turning out. Love my color palette. So I think that overall really pleased with how it's looking. I will need to obviously finish the background and the windows and do the string of lights up top here, but I think that we're well on our way to a fun Santa's workshop. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing my new Mod Podge Dimensional Magic in action, both the clear and the iridescent glitter. I thank you for being here, and I look forward to spending some time with you next week, and we will be doing Cozy Collective Interiors, which is day 15. Okay, we've got another storefront, and this time it's furniture. So I look forward to doing something fun with that. There really isn't any or not very much festive stuff on here either, so maybe we will have to bring some more festive items onto the page ourselves. There's quite a bit of empty spots here. I could do some washi tape stuff, so we'll see what happens, and I look forward to sharing that with you next week. But in the meantime, I hope you are having a creative and colorful week, and I hope you are enjoying your coloring. All right, my friends, take care. See you next video. Bye-bye.